Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Becoming Your Own VIP, Mind, Body, and Soul. This next video I'm going to talk about, I don't know how much people are aware of this, but I talk about how we are energy. And we have the yin and the yang energy within us, which creates a balance. So even in our dark side, there's this little white circle, and even in our white side, there's this little dark circle. So the negative and positive energies within us is always present. Now you can have a huge amount of dark within you, like in the yin yang symbol, with just a little bit of white, because that white keeps you from always being able to find your way back. From being dark and negative, there's always that little glimpse of hope, that little something that at one point can trigger you to expand back into your light, right? So then your white always has a little bit of dark. And at any point in time, you might shift into that dark side. And, it's about finding that balance where you can acknowledge that I have these negative emotions and how I'm going to act in all those situations. Or I'm a positive person, but when temptation comes, how I'm going to react. So that, one, if I do lean into the dark side, coming back. And again, even if you did sink and fall into the darkness, how you're going to find your way back. Again, creating a balance. Because we've all done that, right? We've had situations in our lives where, everything just went left. And it went left for a very long time. And, one point in time you get tired of it. That's that little glimmer of light that shines, and it's like, come back into the light. Come to the light. And so you have to make a series of choices to get yourself back into balance. Well, part of the yin and yang energy is the is the masculine and feminine energy within us too. So you have a woman that can have masculine energy as a dominant energy within them with the femininity, or that there can be a man that has mostly feminine dominant energy, and then they have masculine energy as well, but the ruling energy is the feminine energy. Now, what exactly is the feminine and masculine energy? It's opposites, a softness to another type of energy. The interesting part of it is that the feminine energy is usually the darker side, and then the masculine's the lighter side, because the feminine has to do with the emotional side, and the masculine has to do with more the logical side. Not saying logical is right, but the emotions are stormy. Emotions can fluctuate so fast, where logic, you have that analytical mind where you're taking that time to digest the information before you take action. Where emotions, you can do it snap quick in a hurry, and you can burn everything down in a quick second, and then come back and think about what you just did because you calmed down. Okay, so that would be my quick explanation on my own personal experiences with that. And I am mostly feminine energy as a dominant. But I'm a feminine energy that's mostly been in her masculine energy in her entire life, because I've put on a sense of security that I needed in life because of how I grew up. I pulled on my masculine energy, but I'm very sensitive and emotional truly as my base core, okay? So I'm just going to read off a few things, because the one thing I want you to understand too is there's a state where you're a wounded feminine energy or a wounded masculine energy, and that means you're out of balance. And again, the yin and the yang is about coming into balance. Okay, so if you're mostly feminine energy, but you pulled on your masculine energy, you are out of balance. And I'll explain a little bit more about that, but it's vice versa. If you're a masculine energy and it's very rare when you're pulling on your feminine energy if you're wounded in some way. So again, you're unbalanced. Now, the masculine is so dominant. A lot of the times, the masculine energy is very dominant in us all. Okay? And usually it is the wounded masculine. So I'm going to go over a few things to let you know what some of the characteristics are of the wounded feminine. And then I'll go over the aspects of the wounded masculine. So, wounded feminine is insecure, needy, codependent, manipulative, inauthentic, over-emotional, victim. The wounded masculine is controlling, aggressive, withdraws, avoids, too competitive, abusive, and unstable. So these are just a few. I'm not going to go down a whole category. You can type in these things in the search bar and it'll give you a plethora of things to know about both the divine feminine as well as the divine masculine, or the wounded feminine and the wounded masculine. Now, I now mention divine feminine and divine masculine because this is when you come into balance and you're now able to understand both your energies. So the divine feminine, when in balance, is intuitive, grounded, receptive, reflective, strong, boundaries, empathetic, compassionate, magnetic, supportive, vulnerable, authentic, flows through life effortlessly, surrendered, open, trusting, and creative. Now, the divine masculine is deeply present, doesn't judge, supportive, has discipline, focused, logical, confident, protective, honest, has integrity, humble, boundaries, offers stability and security, as well as being responsible. So, with that being said, now you can see how if you're in balance with both your feminine and masculine, you're in a harmony and you're calm, cool, collected. You could be within yourself and be at peace, or you could be out in the world, where the masculine is usually out in the world, the socialite, doing things that's out in the world, where the feminine is inside. She's the introvert, where he's the extrovert, and she likes being in the house and reading a book or being spiritual, drawing, being creative. Okay. So those are the differences between the masculine and feminine. And again, if you're more masculine, you're out in the workforce, and sometimes a wounded masculine will be a person that will be overworking. So someone who works over 80 hours, just constantly putting in work and is go now. And a wounded feminine's like, honey, I need you, and why aren't you hearing me, and all this other stuff. So that's where you get a lot of the conflict right now in relationships, because there's an imbalance. And so that means that's also happening within you. And I'll give you a really good example of that within me that I experienced. So I wanted to also go over a few things regarding the feminine masculine, where the feminine is heart, the masculine is mind. Where the feminine is feeling, the masculine is thinking. Where the feminine is stillness and resting, the masculine is being out in the world. Where the feminine is interceptive, the masculine is directive. The feminine is imagination, where the masculine's reason. So do you see what I'm saying? So that also has to do with right brain, left brain. So you do have a lot of these masculine, feminine energies, but it even goes into your chakras. Your root chakra is your masculine. Your sacral is your feminine. Your solar plexus is your masculine. Your heart unites them both. And then from here up, your throat is your masculine. And then from here up, this is your feminine. And then this is unity, both of them together. So you have center points. So here's your center point. Here's your center point for your crown and your heart. But otherwise, you have masculine, feminine in the other areas. So again, if you're not in sync with these, then you're out of balance. So I'm going to actually break this up into one of the things I experienced within my energy. So as you're healing and you're coming into balance, you also start recognizing the unbalanced parts of you. And because your energy, you can come out of balance. Your energy can be out of whack one day in your root chakra, your sacral, anywhere, because it's energy. So that's why it's important to maintain your mind, your body, and your soul so that you can stay in balance. And so one day, my feminine energy was all happy, doing breathing exercises and journaling, and I made myself late because I didn't want to stop. So now it was time to go to work, and my masculine energy was all agitated and driving really fast and upset, trying to get to work, and was complaining basically because now I got to make up this time to get to work. So that was the inner feminine and masculine going on inside. Now another time was I got in my notes and I wrote small. And then the other thing about your healing is your masculine and feminine energy. Well, a lot of the reason why we haven't yet faced our emotions, and think about this now, in an argument, when you're with your woman or your whatever the situation is, you want to talk about emotions and the masculine doesn't want to deal with it or understand it. That's the same in your healing journey as well. There's a part of you that doesn't want to yet face those emotions, because I don't know about you, but I was taught that those emotions make you weak. But that's not the case. Actually, emotions are very strong. They make you, they help influence you in your life. I call them your spidey senses, because it tells you when you're out of line, out of alignment. So or if someone's pushing past your boundaries or whatever the situation, your emotions keep you in check and let you know what's happening that is now coming in out of alignment within your energy. So, but in your healing journey, your masculine isn't going to want to face those emotions because it's painful. It hurts. It might be, it's considered weak. Why do I have to face this? And the woman's like, honey, I need you to listen, and putting her nurture. Now, if she's healed, that nurturing energy, baby, we got to face this, compared to you don't love me and all this other stuff. Right. So there's a difference. So I'm using this as a laughter because this is legit what's going on inside me. So when you're coming into union with yourself and balancing this, and once you're very aware of your energies, you can literally feel this going on. And, your right side of the head might be hurting a little bit. You're avoiding, you're running. So that's another thing about the feminine and masculine energies. There's a runner and a chaser. And the feminine can be chasing the masculine so that the masculine can hear and understand these energies and emotions so that you can work through it. But the masculine is running away from it and avoiding it because that's unpleasant. I don't want to face those. So, eventually the masculine, like, oh, what, honey, what? And then they come to peace and they bring that back together. So, that is one thing I need you to understand in your healing journey too, is when you're hitting resistance, it's because the feminine or masculine, or I'll get another video going on, it's your inner child, which is your ego, where that part of you had took on a lot of pain and ways to protect yourself. I'll go into that video another day. But I think it's very important that you understand your feminine and masculine energies and how to identify them, not only in yourself, but in your partner, into other people, because there's something that's wounded within a person that will create the wounded feminine or masculine energies. And the more you understand where they're coming from, the more you have patience and compassion, and not only, again, for yourself, but for others. But then also when you're avoiding healing, like I have to admit, have a hard time doing that. I mean, sometimes it really hurts. Sometimes it's really scary. You don't understand. And that's really a hard thing to face. And so I ask that you be courageous and bold and listen to that feminine energy talking to you and walking you through it and holding you while you get through it, because once you're through it, you're through it. And yeah, it may surface again, but it won't be so intense, okay? Or maybe it will be intense because there's still just some things you haven't worked out yet, and that's okay. We all have a life to live, and there are emotions that we have to deal with to teach us, to let us grow. And all I ask is that you please face the emotions, let them go, because it's energy, okay? They come in and out. Our problem is they came in and they never left. We held on tight thinking it was us. Just let it go. And I say that easier than what it actually is, but it's a work in progress. And you guys keep going. I hope this video helps. You guys take care. Bye.